Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Chasing Collectibles Catchup. I'm Tyler.
And I'm Brooks.
Yes, Brooks is a good friend of mine. He's actually him and I did a video together like a year ago, and we were going to do a series of like videos about movies and TV shows. We did two episodes, and then did no more. So that was probably my fault, but you know,
Well, we were just reenacting what, society was feeling, which was comic book fatigue. So,
yes, yeah. So anything, it was a planned event, but I'm happy to have Brooks here. Brooks is on he's got a niche on comic book and movie and film Twitter. So he's got a good following over there at Brooks Tweets, which is pretty cool.
Brooks tweets, but with a Z.
Yes. Formerly
Someone
known
already
as
took to the S. So,
X, formerly known as Twitter, even though no
I,
one calls it that.
I dead name Twitter. I don't care. It's fine.
Yeah. So we thought that with this being the start of the year, that we would talk about the upcoming movies and TV shows for 2025. Obviously, not every single one, but just the ones that are pertinent more to like the geek kind of community. We made a list of movies and TV shows. We might miss a couple here and there because there's a ton, I'm sure, but we're going to go over what we can. If we
And
don't
stuff gets
mention,
delayed. You never
yeah,
know. So,
so I've got a list here of movies. We're not going to talk about every single movie again, just because like not all are kind of in the geek zone. So we're kind of focusing on those. Um, so we'll go in order. Uh, and also we're not going to talk about every single one too long, like maybe a couple minutes at most. Otherwise, this will be a multi-hour endeavor. Um, our first movie coming out is Captain America and the Brave New World. I couldn't read it. Ringing endorsement. How do you feel about this one? You excited?
well, I liked the most of the trailer when like the most recent trailer that came out. I thought it looked better than the first trailer. So I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm a little nervous because, I don't know how people are going to be receptive to like a different person playing Captain America, but um, I think, we're in a bit of a movie drought since it's January, and then it's coming out middle of February. So hopefully people will be hungry just to go see something.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think that's the best the movie can hope for. So
What's interesting is like when you watch the trailer, the first bit gives you like the political thriller vibes of Winter Soldier. But then when they introduce Red Hulk, they kind of like to me, and I know like some people are like probably excited for Red Hulk. To me, I'm just like that's when they start to actually lose me is like the Red Hulk stuff. So we'll see. Um,
yeah, I mean, Winter Soldier is my favorite Marvel movie. If
hmm,
they can kind of replicate that same feeling, that vibe, then, I'll probably like it. But if it's just, you know, slop, then
yeah,
I'm not gonna be that into it. So
they got Harrison Ford to be in it, so we shall see.
yeah, I mean, he's gonna be the president and then he turns into a Hulk. Like, I have to go see it. So
Yeah, it's probably. I wonder if it's in the same universe as what is it? Air Force One.
yeah, something like that.
Probably it's a sequel. Coming out a month later, and this is like a technically not geeky, but I can still kind of see in the neighborhood. The Snow White movie's coming out, so you know
That's in March?
that is March 21st, according to this graphic that I found online.
Okay. Hmm. Well, you know, I used to be a little more excited about some of these kinds of movies, but I feel like they just made too many of them. And
Yeah,
I mean, we could sit here and like say everything that's already been said about like, live action remake bad, all that stuff, but I'm just kind of like, I think my biggest thing is like these movies just come and go. Like once they're
yeah, they don't
released,
leave any impact.
No, nobody talks about them. I did like a few of them. Like I really like that Cruella movie with Emma Stone. I still think
Hmm.
about that sometimes. Uh, I thought I was gonna hate The Little Mermaid, and I actually did like it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, they
I feel like most of them are harmless at best. I mean, except Lion King, the remake, but that one made $1 billion, so it's like
yeah,
I
I
don't know.
mean, too, in Disney's defense, we do keep going to watch these things. So they're like, I
Yeah,
guess the people want it, so we're gonna keep doing it.
yeah, they play it
But
very
I don't know,
safe.
there's something about this one. I just feel like it's not gonna do well. I just have
Yeah,
that vibe. Like everyone was kind of making fun of like because they're doing the CGI dwarves and stuff, and
yeah,
I just feel like I don't think it's gonna do very well. So
yeah. We shall see. And we are proud AMC A-list members, so we've got our we got to get our movie fill. So sure we might see it.
I I do like Rachel Zegler. Like she can
Yeah,
sing really well. She sang in the Steven Spielberg West Side Story movie.
yeah,
And she was in the Hunger Games movie, and that character in that movie sings. And the girl can sing.
yeah,
So I have no doubt about her musical capabilities, but I'm just not sure if the movie will really wow people. So
right. We shall see. Another movie coming out, the Minecraft movie. Uh, I guess we'll see. I played Minecraft. I enjoy it. Um, I like that in the first teaser trailer, they used a Beatles song. They used a Magical Mystery Tour and actually made you sit down and watch the trailer because of that. And I told you that Paul McCartney must have officially gave it a thumbs up. Um, so I don't know. We'll see. I'm sure it'll be a fine movie to take kids to. I don't know. We'll see.
it
Ringing
looks like
endorsement. Yeah.
a movie that will be playing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't, yeah, I'm sure kids will go see it, you know. One that I am excited for that comes out. This isn't really comic booky, but I still think it's got, I think it's based on a book or a graphic novel, right? Mickey 17.
A book.
So that'll be cool. The trailer is really cool. It's basically about this guy who signs up to be basically like someone who's like expendable on a spaceship, and he agrees to be cloned. So like every time he dies, he's cloned and brought back. But then what ends up happening is one of the clones doesn't die, and they've got two of them at one point. Robert Pattinson is going to be in it. Uh, I hadn't really seen much about it until we saw the trailer. I think during a complete unknown, and I thought it looked really cool. So
I am excited for it, not just because of Robert Pattinson, but I do love it when he's doing something weird.
yeah,
But it's directed by Bong Joon-ho, who did Parasite and Snowpiercer, and I went through his whole filmography during the pandemic after Parasite had come out, and I was like, this guy does not have a bad movie. So I, he kind of shot up in my list of directors. He's up there. He's
yeah,
at least top 10, maybe top 5 even. So I'm excited.
that should be cool. So I'm excited about it. Um, Let's see. A month later, we've got Thunderbolts, another Marvel movie. So that's two Marvel movies within the span of what, 3 months? Um, and there's actually a Marvel has three movies next year, or I guess this year, I should say. Thunderbolts, we got some Marvel rogues coming together for a mission. Um, should be, I mean, again, we've been in this kind of weird period with Marvel movies lately, past few years. I think a lot of people agree that like Endgame kind of peaked, and then a lot of them have been hit or miss ever since. So, we'll see.
I think of the three, this one's the most likely to bomb.
Mm.
I think uh, there's no like instantly recognizable characters in it. It's like a lot of these like side villains and stuff. I love Florence Pugh and I love Sebastian Stan as Bucky, but I'm just not sure those characters can carry a whole movie. So I also feel like it's like a sequel to like things I didn't really care for. Like the Black Widow movie, the Ant-Man
Ant-Man 3. Oh no,
movies,
not 3, 2, yeah.
the Falcon and Winter Soldier show. Like I just feel like it's tying together plot threads from those projects. I'm like, I didn't really care for any of those. So I
Yeah.
don't really see how I'm gonna care about this. So, but I'm happy to be proven wrong. So,
Yeah. I mean, we'll still go see it. I I think you kind of notice that trend with the movies because now that I mean pre-pandemic Marvel movies were getting like a billion no matter what they put out was getting $1 billion. But I
mhm.
think since I think if you don't put something out that's like recognizable to like a general audience, like people don't really know what the Thunderbolts are. But if you put something out recognizable, like maybe Captain America should probably get a boost just because it's Captain America and all that. But I just don't know with Thunderbolts. It's like, well, you know,
I think you need one of the a bigger character there. I don't think, the Black Widow, Florence Pugh's Black Widow is enough to like
yeah,
get people to go see it. I mean, we'll see. It's
yeah,
kicking off the summer, so we'll see. I think a
yes,
lot will depend on reviews too. Like if
hmm
people come out and they're like, this is a big stinker, then it's not going to do well, I don't
right.
think. So,
Let's see. This isn't really geeky, but still kind of a fun summer movie. There's Mission Impossible, the supposed last one. So
yeah, I think this will, it's the final film. I think it'll do pretty well. I know the last one kind of it it did well, but it kind of underperformed, and I think they made a mistake of coming out the week after Barbenheimer,
yeah,
and there was just all that hype for Barbenheimer, and but now it's like there is no Barbenheimer. So I think with it being Tom Cruise's final movie with that franchise, I think it'll probably do well if I had to
yeah,
guess. So,
I'd say
and
so.
it's fun. I saw the past two ones in the theater, and it is a very fun experience. Like to be in a loud theater where the music and everything's just
Mhm.
blasting in your ears. So they all those movies have cool visuals too.
Yeah, almost my.
Um,
I know this is separate, but like Top Gun was one of those. Like Top Gun 2 was one of those you should see in the movie theater. So maybe kind of word of mouth. You need to go see this. Will be one. Get
I could
people in.
totally see them trying to replicate the success of Top Gun with this movie. So.
Yeah.
And it's kind of
Uh,
a crowd pleaser, so
yeah.
everybody will go see it. So
Let's see. We got How to Train Your Dragon in June, the live action one. Um, I think it's a similar thing to what we talked about with the Disney live action. Um, oh, I think this graphic didn't have Lilo and Stitch, which is in
Oh.
May. But I mean, I feel like we can talk about these in the same way. Uh, again, it's like, do we need? I think I can remember if you shared this with me or I just saw it online, where people like these live action movies are made for people who like think it's almost like embarrassing to like animation. It's you've got a really good animated How to Train Your Dragon movie. Uh, doesn't need to be live action. And I don't like some people dislike it for like reasons that I don't agree with, like when they attack certain people for being cast in the movie. That's not at all. I mean, I don't judge a movie until I see it, but it's I think it's more so, do we need this? I'm sure it'll be fine, but you know,
I know people were more receptive to the How to Train Your Dragon movie. Like, so, I mean, I think there are some people out there who are excited for it, but I mean, I'll watch it, I guess. But I'm just kind of like, you've got three perfectly good movies you can watch for that, so that's just kind
yeah.
of how I feel. I mean. I think a part of it is like Universal wants to promote their new theme park. I think that's a
Hmm.
part of it.
Yeah.
So, just letting it be one giant ad.
Yes.
Um, but I do think there's some, especially now that people in our generation are having kids and they're like, "Oh, I want my kids to see the movies I grew up with, but I don't want to watch cartoons." So it's like this is the next best thing. And
Right.
I'm just like, that's kind of sad for me. I'm just like, just show your kid the movie you watched,
Yeah.
So, because a lot of these, they're never the same. Like 9 times out of 10, people go see it. They're like, yeah, it was good, but the animated movie's better.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll be what happens in June. I'm not just I think both of us have the mentality like we don't judge movies before we see them. So
Hmm.
I hope this isn't like coming across as like so far the theme we've said with a lot of movies has been like we'll see. I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll be good. But like is it, when you leave the theater, will you have rather watch that or the animated? And I think the answer would be the animated.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think it's just the way Hollywood is right now. It's just sequels and remakes.
yeah.
And
See,
yeah, as someone who watches a lot of movies, sometimes that kind of stuff bores me.
yeah.
So
Speaking of sequels and remakes, we got Jurassic World, Rebirth. I don't know a whole lot about this. I know Scarlett Johansson is the lead person, right?
so I know we just said, sequels and remakes bore us. However, as far as I know, this is a totally new cast. So like Chris Pratt and like Bryce Dallas Howard are not in it, I don't think. And
Mhm.
I don't think any of the original characters are in it either. I mean, if anyone's gonna be in it, they'll shove Jeff Goldblum in it because they just always
Yeah,
do it because they're like, let's get, um, the internet to go watch it. But
right,
um, it has Scarlett Johansson and Jonathan Bailey from Wicked and Bridgerton, of course, um, as the eye candy. And then it has Mahershala Ali, um, who went to do this since Blade is taking forever. So,
right.
but if you ask me, that's a pretty good trio of actors there. So, um, and I think and as far as I know, I think it's going to take place mostly on an island, I think, rather than I know the Chris Pratt movies were like dinosaurs, but they're with us,
Yeah.
and it's like I think this one is kind of a back to basics kind of thing.
Hmm.
I could be totally wrong and making that up, but I swear I read that somewhere. So
I think it'd be cool. It's in the summer, so good summer movie. So
I if you make a movie with dinosaurs in it, I will go watch it. It
yeah,
does
I
not.
think it'll do good. Um, Next, a week later, we this is probably the biggest comic book movie of the year, I think. Uh, New Superman movie. Um, and this is important. I think there's a lot we could do a whole video on this, and we got to stick to our rule about not dwelling too long on one thing because there's a lot to cover. But there's a lot of stakes with this one because it is like technically the kickoff of the James Gunn universe was what was it called? The What was that show that just came out?
The
Uh,
Creature
yeah,
Commandos.
yeah, that was technically the first official thing. But this is like the big kind of first James Gunn movie. It's directed by him. It's first Superman movie we've gotten in a while. I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be cool. I think the cast is great. Crypto is going to be cool. Um, and we saw the trailer. We've seen the trailer before, but we saw it in theaters for the first time last month, and that was really fun. So I'm excited for it.
I'm excited, but also terrified. Because sometimes I worry about like if people care about Superman or not.
Hmm.
So we'll see how it goes. But first Superman movie in over a decade at this point. So
Yeah,
I'm excited to watch it. The trailer impressed me. It put away some of my concerns. Um, so hopefully it's a grand kickoff and it does well. It's going to be a busy month, so I hope it has legs.
yeah.
So
And we talked about too, like before, just you and I, that we've speculated about Batman 2, why that was there's a couple of reasons why that was delayed, and there's having discussions and all that. And I know you brought up like, are they just looking for how does Superman do? Because if this movie doesn't do great, it's like, okay, what about this whole new universe we're doing? Are we doing this or are we not doing it? So, you know,
pretty much everything is riding on this movie.
right. So
Like if it does
go
not
see it.
do well, heads are gonna roll again. So
Yeah. So we'll see. And then the next bit, I'm skipping over Smurfs. Smurfs is coming out July 18th. If you guys want to see Smurfs,
hey,
um,
I'm excited.
he's seated. July 25th is Fantastic Four. We have not had a Fantastic Four movie since the last Fox 21st Century Fox one, which was kind of part of their like, I guess, attempt to try to remember back then they had to like make a movie every few years in order to keep the rights. They made it, and it's kind of universally nobody really liked it.
Fan
Um,
Four Stick?
yeah, that one. Yeah. Um, it's got a good cast. Um, I think it'll be cool. I think it's supposed to be set in the 60s, from what I've read, if I remember correctly.
Well, I know the aesthetic is
The
that.
aesthetic is the 60s.
I mean, it could be like a time travel movie, and then they wind up in the present. Who
Yeah.
knows? But I I remember there was the rumored cast, and then a few months went by, and then it was like, actually, none of those people are in the movie. This is who we've got. And it
Right.
was kind of like a womp womp for me because I was actually excited about the rumored cast.
Hmm.
So I was like, oh, this is who we can afford now. So, but I am excited about Pedro
Yeah,
Pascal
Pedro
as Reed
Trisca,
Richards.
the guy from what's it called? The Bear cousin, isn't it? He's playing
Yeah,
Ben Grimm.
yeah. Um, so you know, I mean, I gotta see it. I would, I mean, surely there'll be a trailer, and I bet there'll be a trailer that opens with Captain America. You know,
Yeah.
I put down money on that. I bet that happens. But um, we'll see how it goes. Those characters are like very difficult to adapt, apparently.
Yeah.
So much so that Disney did their own version, The Incredibles. So I'm just like, uh, Marvel, are you gonna let Disney make the superior version, So,
Yeah. Well, if Tim were
um,
here, he would always, because Tim always calls them, I mean, this is what they are called, Marvel's first family. They're kind of like one of the big, like, even pre-Spider-Man. I mean, Fantastic Four was one, like, I can't remember if I don't know the whole timeline, but they might be like the first or one of the first kind of Silver Age comics that really kind of Marvel kind of launched, getting much bigger in the 60s. So
yeah,
um,
I think
we'll
a
see. I
lot
mean, a lot of people like them, but it's like you said, hard to do.
I think a lot's riding on this movie as well. Like as much as we talked about Superman needing to do well, I think this has to do well for Marvel as well because I think they want to adapt um like a lot of the Secret Wars stuff
We know RDJ
where
Doom is
they
coming
in
up.
the Illuminati stuff. Like I think they want to do a bunch of things that you need Reed Richards and Doctor Doom for. And so this
Yeah.
movie needs to do well. Which
Yes.
it'll be the summer. Um, Big blockbuster. Of course, people will have seen, I don't know the order of release. Does this come out after Superman in Jurassic Park?
Yes.
Uh,
Yes. Yeah. We've been doing this in
so
order, so
it's
it
it's
comes
third
out.
in the month.
Yeah, comes out 2 weeks after Superman.
So I mean, people will have already gotten their July movie in because
Yeah.
there's those people who only go see a movie once a month.
They're not like us
So
freaks.
yeah, so I'm like, is it too late in the month?
Yeah.
I guess it's like, I don't know. They gotta hope people really want to go see movies.
Yes.
So
Uh, Skipping ahead toward the end of the month, I'm just glossing over. There's a couple we don't need to really talk about too much, but The Bad Guys has come out in August. Bad Guys 2. That should be. I like that animated movie. It was fine. I liked it.
good. I like it.
Yeah, it was fun. Let's see. Tron. I'm not a huge Tron person, but that's coming out in October. A new Tron movie.
I am excited for the visuals. I think it could be like a sleeper hit.
Hmm.
Because I love that ride at Disney World. I even like the 2010 movie. So I like I like the aesthetic of Tron.
Yeah.
So I think it could be that one depends on word of mouth. I think it could be a sleeper hit. So
And then closing out the year in terms of geek movies is Avatar, the last, oh, not the last, obviously, not the last one, but the third Avatar movie. Um, last one did amazing. It was one of those movies that, like, made people say, "Oh, it's our movie theaters back," and it turns out it's just, no, it's just Avatar. Um, but I'm excited for it. We saw the second one in theaters a couple years ago. That one was amazing. Um, so I'm excited.
I'm an Avatar truther, man. I hate all that discourse. It's gonna happen again. Once December rolls around, they'll be like, Avatar has no cultural impact whatsoever. Nobody cares about the Blue Monkey movie and all this
Hmm.
stuff. And there it'll go again. It'll make another $2 billion and
Yeah,
everybody will have egg on their face. I think people these days you got to give people a reason to go see the movie. And I think James Cameron is just really good at doing that because
yeah,
the whole marketing of the movie is you have to go see it
yeah. It's
in
built
theater.
FOMO.
Like
It's built on fear of missing out.
I'm
You have to see it in
but
theaters.
really though, and I'm like once I went to see it, I'm like thank God I went to see it in a theater.
We saw it in
'Cause-
IMAX, right?
Yeah, in 3D. And I don't usually like 3D, but it works for that movie. And so I'm like I mean, it's the whole reason you're going is for the experience, and um, anything less than a movie theater is inferior for that movie.
Yeah. No,
So,
absolutely. So it'll be cool. It's a good way to cap off the year. So that'll be exciting.
is that the only big movie coming out in December?
According to this list, I mean, I'm sure though, in non-geek world, I know Timothy Chalamet has a movie coming out in December.
Like
I know.
awards type fare?
Yeah, we'll get some of that stuff, but
Oh
I
yeah,
think,
that movie's making $2 billion.
yeah.
There's nothing coming out. Oh,
As far as it's lit, this could be wrong. I just when we were doing this video, I searched movies coming out in 2025. I found this graphic, and there could be something else that I just haven't
surely there's
seen.
like an animated movie or something.
It could be, but
So,
I mean, it's Avatar. It'll clear no matter what. I mean, you could put anything there, and I think Avatar would do really well.
hmm.
Now we've got some shows. I'm going to kind of group these together because we were texting about, lots of shows. Can you help me add them to the list? Let's start off with Disney stuff and Disney and Marvel. In live action, the Daredevil Born Again is coming out. I was a huge fan of the Netflix show, and I'm excited about the possibility of it. And I really hope, and people have been saying they've been letting them kind of do their thing because, like, the original show is known for being really grounded and really dark. I mean, if you've seen Daredevil, you know what I'm talking about. I hope they're able to get away with that kind of stuff. I've heard they are, so I'm excited to see, everybody in their roles with that one. Daredevil's great in that. Kingpin's great in it, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I watched the trailer. There's some things that look good. So,
Mhm.
um, I I
Never
binged
watched the Echo show. I
through.
don't think it's connected to. I don't know. Did you ever watch that? I didn't watch Echo. You know.
I did watch Echo, but you don't have to watch that. But I binged the whole show like a few years ago. I watched all the Marvel Netflix
That's because
things.
I kept on with the net. I told you to watch
Yeah, you
Daredevil
were
for a
peer
while.
pressuring me. The first season was really good. I do think it started to go down a little bit for me, as
Mhm.
time went on. So I'm hoping it can uh go up for me a little bit. I do like that character. Sometimes I wonder if should he only be relegated to TV or if it's time to give him a movie. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Because I mean, he there's like a Batman quality to him, and I'm
Hmm.
like, I feel like it would be cool. They keep doing that with like their Batman adjacent characters. Like Moon Knight has a TV show instead of a movie. And
Yeah.
now that I've read Moon Knight comics, I'm like, why doesn't he have a movie? Why is he stuck on this
Like you just said,
terrible TV
TV.
show?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll see. I know it's supposed to be longer, right? They're going to have like 12 episodes
I
or
think
something.
so. Yeah. It's which I mean that's been a fault of a lot of the Disney shows. Like they're too short. Like they kind of zoom toward the end and they kind of fumble the ending. So I
Yeah, I
hope this
mean,
gives
some of
them,
those Marvel shows had 6 episodes, and it was like there was no time to do nothing.
yeah,
So, hopefully, the longer format will be beneficial for it. So,
yeah. Ironheart comes out as well, sticking with the live action Marvel shows. Um, you know, there's just so much. I struggle sometimes with TV shows. I still got to get caught up on Dune, on the Dune show, which you said was really good. I got to get caught up on the Skeleton Crew, which is wrapped up, which you really liked.
oh, the
Um,
finale was so good.
but I
We
just
gotta
like
watch
I
it.
struggle with the time, and so like again, it's like with all these shows and movies. I'm sure it'll be good. It'll be fine. Ironheart. The Disney Plus shows have been some of them. The thing I think the main theme for these Marvel shows is sometimes they start off really good and then it just kind of like they fumble at the end. So that's my worry.
I don't think this one's gonna do very well. I just feel like it's not really tied into anything.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, I know she was in Black Panther, but to me, I was like, she's kind of shoehorned in here to
Yeah,
promote the TV show. And then that movie came out so long ago, I think people forgot who she was.
yeah,
So, I don't know about this one. I think this one's probably going to be, I don't think it's going to be a big hit. Um, I mean, I'll watch it and give it a try, but I think we might have another Echo on our hands.
yeah.
So
The next three I'm going to put together. There's three animated shows coming out from Marvel. Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, Eyes of Wakanda, and Marvel Zombies. To be honest, I didn't even know Eyes of Wakanda was a thing until I looked up what was coming out this year. Looks interesting. I don't. Here's the reason why I group these together is I think Marvel Zombies is in that same What If style animation, and that trailer for Your Friendly Neighborhood came out, and it's got that. It's got a. I'm not a fan of that animation either. I hope Eyes of Wakanda is something different just because like you and I tried to watch What If, and I know some of the episodes of What If are like I've heard like the Doctor Strange one was better than others, but I just can't get past the animation. It doesn't do it for me. And so
it just
if they're
looks
all
really cheap.
if they're
And
all animated like that, that's gonna be And I remember being excited when I saw the Your Friendly Neighborhood stuff for the first time. I was like, oh, that'd be cool, have them in school and all this stuff. But then I saw the trailer, I'm like, you know.
I'm probably not going to watch it. It's like too hard to look at, in my opinion. So
It has nothing to do like there there are people who were saying all sorts of because uh the Osbournes in the show are African American and there are some people online that are like getting that bad discourse, the discourse that you and I don't like.
the bad
And
place.
yeah, and to me, I'm like, no, the reason I'm like not for the show right now is because I saw the trailer and I didn't like the animation. It could, I might watch an episode and give it a chance, but it's not for that reason.
I don't
It's
think we're alone in that either. I've seen a lot of people saying that. And also, it comes out, I think does it come out this
it comes
month?
out this month. Yeah, I've
Yeah,
heard
I
nothing
have
about it.
seen no advertising for it. Like I feel like you set these some of these shows up for failure when you do stuff like
Yeah.
this. So, um I think this is gonna get one season and nobody's gonna talk about it. So
Yeah, and then Eyes of Wakanda is apparent. Let me just I can read you guys the
that
this
one might get moved. I
it's
have
only
not,
4 episodes.
huh?
Let's see. It's intended to it follows Wakandan warriors who carry out dangerous missions throughout history. So I just hope it's not that same style of animation, just
I
because
will
like
say, the Wakanda side of Marvel, I really like. I
mhm,
think they've like the movies especially have been really good. I think they handle that little world pretty good. Um, so I think it all hedges on, what it looks like. Uh,
yeah.
'Cause you can't have a cartoon and it be ugly. I'm sorry.
Just to touch on because you and I stopped watching What If um after we gave it our joke was what if it was good. But I remember you told me that there was one episode where they just resolved the whole Kang army thing. Like you saw that, right? Then they just like there was some team that just the post-credit scene at Ant-Man 3, they just dealt with, if we're remembering right. Isn't that a thing?
Yeah, it allegedly happened off screen apparently. So
It's like,
they're
okay,
like, there we go. If anybody ever asks what happened.
we did it.
Yeah.
So many of those episodes from what I saw, because I stopped watching it, and um, we're just like, what if this slightly different thing happened? And I feel like he could have gotten more creative. And I heard they kept on like going back to Captain Carter, and they kept on going back, which is fine. Like, I don't disagree with her existing as a character. Um, but it's just like, okay, like, you know, let's let's visit other stuff.
To me, it's like a waste of everyone's time because it's like the time spent making this, you could have been making another show like X-Men 97, which is the
Hmm.
best animated thing they've done in a long time. So,
Yeah. Let's look at since we did Marvel TV shows, let's look at DC TV shows. I think there's one. Peacemaker season 2. It's coming out. Um, I like the original Peacemaker, so
yeah, I even remember we were hesitant to watch it because we were kind of like, this isn't really a character we gravitated to. I did really enjoy that movie, the
mhm.
Suicide Squad movie, but John Cena was good in it, but it wasn't like, oh, give him a whole show. But then we watched it, we were like, wait, this is amazing.
Yeah, we
So
had a lot of fun. I remember smiling a lot during
yeah,
it.
it
Maybe surprised that John Cena could, he pulled off some emotional stuff too.
Yeah, I mean, his acting in that was really good. He turned like a nothing character into now if you read like the comics, Peacemaker's everywhere.
Yeah,
So, I mean, he was in like an animated show I was watching, so he's everywhere now, thanks to him. So,
right.
I'm looking forward to it. It really surprised me. I do hope it'll have um more connections because this is coming out a month after Superman. So I
Yeah.
hope it'll be a little more connected to that. Um,
And
but
how will
other,
they explain, how it was? Remember at the end of Peacemaker season 1, the Justice League shows up
oh,
silhouetted for the most
oh
part.
yeah.
Like, how are they gonna, or do they just pretend that we forgot?
Yeah, so whatever. I don't want to get into that, but um, I I'm looking forward to it. The first season really surprised me. So
Yeah. Um, let's shift gears to Amazon shows. Gen V is coming out. The Boys was last year, and they're kind of doing alternate Boys, Gen V, Boys. Um, we like Gen V. Gen V was cool.
there were some
Kind of
parts of
showed a
it where I
difference.
was like, I like this better than the main show. So
Yeah.
I really grew to like the characters.
Mhm.
And if you recall, it ends on like a huge cliffhanger.
Right.
So I'm very curious to see where the story goes from here. I was sort of like, it's sort of like the Penguin, where it's like, how can you make a Penguin show without Batman? And then they
Hmm.
did, and it was
Right.
amazing. And
I mean,
then with this
they
show,
had
it was like, how can you make a boys show without like Homelander in it, really? And I know he shows up like later, but it's brief,
mm,
like it is mostly its own thing. And I just thought some of the stuff they did with it was really great. So,
right. No, I thought it was cool. So that'll be fun. Invincible season 3 comes out actually in a few weeks,
hmm
and so that'll be fun. It's cool because the last time we had to wait so long for season 2, and they made sure that we didn't have to wait as long for this one. No, I haven't read the comic. I still need to at some point. You've read it, and
Yeah.
so how are you
I'll have
feeling?
to, I have all three compendiums. I'll have to let you borrow them whenever you want them. But I read them all. I started it and I couldn't put it down. And so I read all three of them over the course of a couple weeks. And because it's like over 100 issues. But um, the first like compendium is like basically the first two seasons that we've seen so far. So two and three, I read all those, so I know like what happens and stuff. I mean, they've adjusted a few things. They've moved some things in the story a little sooner.
Mhm.
Um, but I know what's on the horizon, and oh boy. So what, I mean, it's got to be like top five comics I've ever read. Like it really blew me away.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Um, and like just master storytelling. Um, Robert Kirkman, I've never read The Walking Dead, but now I'm like, should I? Because, but I'm just like, I feel like Invincible is like, one of the best things he's done. So, but I love the animated show. I think the voice acting is so good. Um, and they're so loyal to the comic. Like they don't really change that much,
Mhm.
which is nice because sometimes these things they want to change too much and then people get frustrated. So for the Invincible fans out there, the show is really, really loyal to the original story and it makes it fun to watch. So
Yeah, I don't think much more can be said about it. I'm excited. Um, let's see. Last of Us season two is coming out. That was a big show. Um, I never finished the games. Actually, I mean, I played the games. I never finished them. Um, but I've heard, games are amazing. Show is great. So, yeah, I think that's another thing that people will be excited about.
yeah, I love the first season. I'm looking forward to it for sure. I mean, I is this the end or are they going
Uh,
to do more or what?
I don't know.
Hmm.
I've heard, I think I got spoiled what a major thing that happens in the
Well,
second
because
game.
the first season adapts the
It is
entire
basically,
first
yeah, the
game.
first game. So we'll see. I'm noticing something that we've got more excitement for some of these shows than some of the movies we discussed. Um, so yeah, I think we're excited for that one. Let's look at some Netflix stuff. The second season of Wednesday is coming out. I know that was really big when it came out.
That's it's been a while since that came out.
What was that, 2022 or
Yeah.
2023?
2022, I believe. They really got to stop
Yeah, it's
taking
2022.
like taking 3-year breaks in some of these shows.
That's the frustrating thing is like so me and I we watched Severance on Apple. And I can't that was a year or two ago too. And then like we watched a recap video to try to like recall what happened because it's they used to, a season happened every year. And now it's like, oh, we're gonna do this every few years. And it's just like it's frustrating.
I don't know necessarily why. I mean, I know some stuff was delayed because of the strikes and all that, but
Hmm.
you can only use that excuse for so long.
Yeah. I liked it, you know, should be cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
It was really fun. Jenna Ortega, she's really good at like that. Like she's our new Winona Ryder. Like
Yeah.
she's so good at being the little goth girl.
She was in that was her in what's it called? She was in
Beetlejuice
yeah, Beetlejuice, right?
with Winona Ryder.
Yes. So
It's like looking in the
passing the
mirror.
torch.
So
Um, I don't think you watch this show. If you do, I apologize. I haven't watched it, but I know it means a lot to some people. Stranger Things, the final season of that is coming out. Have you
yeah,
watched it? I can't remember.
yeah, I've watched it. It's been so long. I'm like, oh, because
They were kids when they started. Now they're
yeah,
young adults.
they're like graduating college. Um, Yeah, I like it. It's fun. Um, Probably time for it to end so everyone can move on with their lives because they've been in a holding pattern for this show. So,
Right.
um, but yeah, last season was really good. I'm sure it made a big splash then. I'm
Yeah.
sure it'll make a big splash on the culture when this
Yes.
comes out. So, I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to it.
And we got two more shows, Disney Plus. I'm gonna start with both are excited for. But the last one I know we're the most excited for. Percy Jackson season two. Um, I read the books growing up. I saw the original movie. Uh, One of my best friends, Matthew, he was like much more into the books than I was, and he like tore the movie apart. He hated it. Um, and I think this one was much more faithful. From what I've heard from Percy Jackson fans, the author is really involved in it. He seems excited. Uh, the main kid, has definitely hit that age. So when you watch the trailer and he's speaking, you're like, "Oh, buddy, you know, you gotten older."
Yeah, this it's like a Stranger Things situation. It's so tricky when you do these teenager stuff because the boy hits puberty and all of a sudden he sounds different. So, um, but I really liked the first season. I know we didn't watch it. We kind of let it air. We didn't watch it
Yeah.
as it was airing, and
No, we
then
watched the whole thing in a row.
we binged it. And I'm kind of glad we binged it. I mean, I'll watch it as it airs this time, but I think it did make a good binge. But I liked it. I love Greek mythology stuff, so I'm going to be into that no matter what. But the kids that they got to play the main characters, I thought they all did a good job. Um, you know, there's some Disney Plus isms, like it was only 8 episodes, so some things weren't as fleshed out as they could be, but um overall I am looking forward to it. So,
Yes. And what's his? I feel bad because I'm drawing a blank on his name, but the actor who played um, Lance Reddick passed away. He had played Zeus, and so they did recast. But I remember that happened this year, I believe.
yeah, I think we watched it not long after he had passed away, so it was a little sad watching it.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I missed one Netflix show. Um, Squid Game. Squid
Oh,
Game
I knew
season
we were
three.
forgetting something.
Yeah.
I was like,
Um, yes. So we both finished Squid Game season two. Don't want to say anything because it's still early, but it ended on a note that makes you want to watch the next episode immediately. Um, so yeah, it's supposed to come out this summer, I believe. So I'm super excited for Squid Game season three.
yeah, there was a leak to like someone, like some Netflix account accidentally leaked June 2025. I
Yeah,
hope that's true because that's only a few months away. Of course, it's not like official, but they did say coming this year at some point. So,
yeah,
but I had forgotten what happened, and my roommate had never seen the first season. So we rewatched that before we watched the second season. And I'm so glad I went back and rewatched it. Because it just added to the experience of watching season two, I feel like.
yeah,
Um, and I loved season two.
hmm
I thought it was really good. I mean, it is criminally short
yeah.
because the first
But
season I think was 10 episodes, but I loved it so much. I was like, how am I going to get emotionally attached to these new characters when I'm still emotionally recovering from the first season?
and then you
And
do
then, sure enough, I'm emotionally attached and I don't want anything bad to happen to
in
them.
in a show where people die
Yes,
constantly.
I'm like, it's like Hunger Games all over again.
Yeah,
But the writing and acting in this is so good because you really don't spend that much time with them, and yet you really care about them and don't want anything bad to happen to them.
yeah,
So, and I think that's a credit to everyone involved, especially the actors with their performances. So,
yeah. And last show, I think it's the one we're both very excited for, is Andor season two. In an
oh
era where there's
boy.
a lot of like divisiveness in the Star Wars community without focusing too much on it. There's a lot of like there's a corner of Star Wars fandom that you and I are not fans of. Um, I feel like Andor is like seems to be universally loved. So for the most part, I think,
You do have your weirdos out there, but yes, for the most part.
yeah. And so I'm very excited for this. Andor season one was awesome. I remember we that one like we had so many like I mean, references that we got from that show. I mean, we loved it was awesome. There's the powerful episode in the prison that was amazing.
I can't
There,
swim.
oh my gosh. And then there's the you find out at the end of that season that they were building pieces for the Death Star. You have the amazing speech that the Skarsgård dad gives. Uh, I
Luthen.
mean, yeah. Oh my gosh! Like, and that was in a Star Wars show. Like that powerful speech is in a Star Wars show. Um, no, so I'm super excited for Andor season 2.
I burned my life for a sunrise I'll never see.
That's how I feel teaching. I kid.
Okay, I'm glad you saved this one for last. Because if we were to rank these in terms of excitement, this is number one for me.
Yeah.
I love this show. Well, I love Rogue One, of course. I always go back with, do I like Empire or Rogue One as my number one? I
Mm,
rewatched Rogue One recently. I'm like, I think it's Rogue One. I think
mm.
that's my favorite Star Wars movie. It just does something to me, man. I don't know. But Andor tying into Rogue One so seamlessly. So such a large ensemble cast, and everybody's on their A game. There's no character I'm like, I don't like that character. They're a waste of space. Everyone is essential to the story. All the little like every 3 episodes being like an arc,
Yeah, that was great. I love that.
and they gave it 12 episodes, which it needed.
Hmm.
And I don't know why every other show hasn't gotten that treatment. I don't know because I'm like, clearly it worked for this show, so why haven't you done this with the other ones? But um, I mean, Mon Mothma, I love her. Love Cassian, of course, Luthen. All those people are going to be back, and
Yeah.
they're adding director critic to the mix. Like, come on.
I remember you and I, because we always loved the as recovering poli sci majors, we really liked in the prequels, the Senate and all that, and we liked seeing the politics. It was cool seeing the Senate. It was cool seeing the officers having their little meetings and all
They
that.
were
So I mean,
queening out the
yeah,
ISB. I just, you can just tell on my face how excited I am for this. Like, my level of enthusiasm is through the roof. Forrest Whitaker's gonna be back as Saw Gerrera. Like, are you kidding me?
yeah,
Like, I, I'm
see
gonna
it.
queen out every week watching this. Like,
Yeah,
I
very excited.
fist is gonna be pumping in the air the whole time. Like, I am so excited. And I don't know if you know this, but it is it is 12 episodes again, which is exciting. But every 3 episodes is an arc again,
Hmm.
and every 3 episodes is a year that passes.
Hmm.
So I'm like,
That'd be
ooh, and
cool.
it's uh, allegedly it the ending goes right into Rogue One. So, and the director, Tony Gilroy, he has said that this will, like, you're going to want to watch Rogue One after this as well, because it's going to give some things new meaning and context. So
Hmm.
I'm excited about that.
Gives you
Oh,
another yet another reason, not that you need one, to watch
yeah,
Rogue One.
oh, I could watch Rogue One any day. Who am I kidding? But, and it's also going to show how Cassian and K2SO meet.
Hmm.
um because he's going to be in this season too. So I think the first one had Rogue One connections, of course, but I think the second season even more so, which
Yeah.
excites me. So I can't wait.
Yes, that's why I intentionally saved this one for last because I knew there'd be a good reaction. Um, but I think just overall, suffice to say, there is a lot of content coming out in 2025, movies and TV shows. And one little thing I like to always like kind of keep in mind is every movie and TV show is undoubtedly either somebody's favorite or somebody enjoys it. So I hope nobody felt like our like lukewarm response to some movies and shows wasn't like, you know, indicative of anything. Like nothing's come out yet. Things that we thought weren't going to be, we're not super excited about could be amazing. This video is more so like, hey, here's what's coming out. Here's our initial thoughts. But I hope everything's good, you know. Um, there are movies that like I enjoy that I know you don't enjoy as much. There's movies you enjoy that I don't enjoy. It's a subjective thing. So I hope this year, 2025, is full of movies and TV shows that a lot of people like. You know, I hope a lot of these things do really well.
I never really actively root against movies and
Mhm.
stuff because um when you do that, like I don't take I've seen some people celebrate like when a movie performs badly, but to me, like when a big movie bombs, that hurts everyone. Like that
Yeah.
hurts the industry. Um, it hurts movie theaters. It hurts the people associated with the movie. So I don't, I'm always happy to be proven wrong. Like when I see trailers, sometimes I'm like, that looks bad. Um, but if it comes out and everyone's like, "Oh, you got to go see this," then I'm happy to be proven wrong. So,
Well, and just one more thing, and we could probably do a whole video on this, is that there's so much content on there where it's people make videos about stuff they hate. And it's just like you never do that on your Twitter, which I appreciate. And like I never really do that on I mean, I don't post about movies a lot on my social media, but it's just like I'm talking mainly about things that I like. And there's studies that show that like when you have like contempt, that actually can hurt your health, like your mental health and your physical health. So like why go if you don't like something, don't talk about I mean you could say, oh, I didn't like it and move on. Some people, some people online make their entire career out of talking about things they don't like. And I'm like, why do that? I mean, that you were so happy talking about Andor season two, or we talk about Invincible or Superman. Talk about things you're excited about. If you don't like something, just say, I didn't like it, say why you didn't like it, and then move on. You know?
yeah, life's too short. I just, to me,
Makes you wonder too, like, do people like movies? You know? Do they like TV shows?
there's been some Marvel stuff and some DC stuff I haven't really been crazy about. And yeah, I could rip into it, but the thing I've learned being on comic and Star Wars Twitter is that every movie is someone's favorite.
Hmm.
So I'm like, there are people out there who are like, Ant-Man 3 is my favorite movie. And I'm like,
And
uh,
you could pick a fight with that person, but
I
why
mean,
do that? Why take
I
away
could be
someone's
like, is something wrong with you? But I'm like, I mean, I'm happy you love it so much.
right? What's
So,
what's just like in a recent experience? I know, like I really liked the movie A Complete Unknown. Like I'm a big Bob Dylan fan. I came out of it, checked all the boxes, and I know you're not huge on biopics, you're not huge on Bob Dylan, but like it's not like you were like, oh, why do you like that? That I
mm-mm.
hated it. It's just like okay, cool. People,
Yeah,
it's subjective, so why go out of your way to hate on
it's
stuff?
not really the type of movie I get excited about, but I recognize that a lot of people are. And
Hmm.
so I'm not going to go into that space and be like, you're wrong for liking this. I've
Hmm.
never really understood that mentality.
Right,
Like, oh, time to wade into some controversy.
right.
So I
Well, the
really,
con like,
I,
again, without because like we've already gone long on this, but like the
oh,
controversy gets clicks, and the clicks
if you
get.
don't care, you can stop listening to me. But I really got into The Acolyte, and
Mhm.
people felt very strongly against that show. Granted, there were a lot of people who liked it just as much as I did. And it was like, I wasn't going to those people and being like, you're wrong, but they had no
They
problem
came
coming
to you.
to you. Yeah, oh, they found me. Boy, did they find me. But
Yeah,
um, it was like they couldn't accept that I liked it.
right.
Um, and that frustrated me. That's all I wanted to say.
No, yeah, I think you're right about that.
I
I
won't
mean,
wade into too much controversy.
you're right.
Since this is your show, so
Yeah. Next time we'll just start with the controversy.
yeah.
But no, I just want to send that message out just because, like, like what you like in 2025. I hope everybody finds something that they enjoy. And even if we don't like it as much as you do, hopefully you're happy with it. There's lots of stuff coming out. If the Smurfs does it for you in 2025, I wish nothing but an amazing Smurfs movie for you.
Well, I think it's going to be in that like Spider-Verse animation style. So what
Oh,
if
is
it's,
it? Maybe
I
maybe
mean,
we
what
should
if
go
it's
see it.
amazing?
I mean, it could.
I
Why
think
was it?
it's, but I don't know if it's specifically Spider-Verse, but I've heard it's supposed to be more stylistic. So what if it's like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, like
It could be. There's
the
been, I can't
best
remember what
animated
animated movie. I
feature?
know there's been an animated movie that we've seen that wasn't, we just like, oh, let's go see this. And it was actually really good. And it was in like, it was stylistic. I can't remember what it is now. But, there's been
The
surprises like that.
Wild
So,
Robot?
no, no, no. There was another movie like a couple years ago, I think. I don't
Ninja
remember what it
Turtles?
was. Yeah, 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 Ninja. I think Ninja, I mean,
Puss
yeah,
in
Ninja
Boots?
Turtles isn't, the what?
Puss in Boots?
Maybe I'm thinking of Puss in Boots or Ninja Turtles. I don't know which one. Like animation could be, animation is great. So
They're all those
yeah, it's all
Spider-Verse
bleeding together.
movies.
Yeah, so like if Smurfs is a banger, cool, But anyway, this has been a lot of fun, and I think Brooks might end up appearing in more videos going forward. So maybe if the Zell goes through.
Yeah, you got to pay me as much as Elon. Okay,
Hmm, we'll see. But anyway, this is
my
a lot of
booking
fun.
fee.
So thanks for coming on and talking movies with me and
Yeah, I
TV
had a
shows.
good time.
Yeah.
I like doing this. So
Yes. So thank you guys for watching, and I guess we shall see you next time and keep chasing. So see you next time. Bye.
bye.
Yeah!